peaches, apples, pears, grapes, and more. They were left behind by the coal miners. Join us for a taste test. Hello everyone, I'm Don Jacobs. I'm here at the Eckley Miners Village in Lower Luzerne County, and we're gonna go wild with Discover NEPA, talking about, yes, the history, the people that lived here, but you won't believe what we're actually here to talk about. Fruit. You're gonna hear from Chris Stokum.
Eckley was established in 1854 as a coal mining company town, or a patch town as it was called in the region. And these were typical settlements across northeastern Pennsylvania. Before the coal industry came into the region, it was pretty sparsely settled. It wasn't particularly good farmland, and it was distant from major ports like Philadelphia and New York. And so when coal was discovered here, the company didn't have a ready workforce. They had to build homes, entice miners to come in, and then work that land and extract the coal. And so Eckley was one of hundreds of settlements that cropped up. So what we tell here is a regionally specific story, but it's also a national story of immigrants traveling to the United States from Europe, working in its industries, finding some upward mobility, and establishing new lives for themselves.
And the people that came here to live here and work here came from all over the world, right?
Primarily, Western Europe was the first wave of migration, and so the initial owners were English and German in origin. A lot of the workers were Irish. And a little bit later on, by the time you get into the 1880s and 1890s, you see migration to the region from Slavic countries like Lithuania, Poland, Ukraine. You also see Italians moving to the region. So there's a huge ethnic tapestry that crops up, and you see that embedded, everything from the possessions that people had in their houses, the churches that cropped up, gained attendance and lost attendance over time, and then the diverse cuisine that we still have in the region. All of this ties back to the coal mining industry and the people that were drawn to work here.
There's no doubt there's history to learn, to understand, and appreciate at Eckley Miners Village. But how about taste? Yes, taste.
Yeah, so you imagine somebody setting up to leave, say, a small village in Lithuania, 1880. They pack the few possessions they have, might be a pair of shoes, a couple changes of clothes, some family heirlooms, but one of the last things they pack is a handful of apple seeds or pear seeds that they take from their village, put in an envelope, carry it 4,000 miles across the Atlantic Ocean to come here to northeastern Pennsylvania. They plant those seeds and grow them up here in the village. And it speaks to that whole history, people living a hard life here, having to work the land to get by, and trying to preserve some aspects of their traditions in this new place.
So Chris, tell me about this tree.
So this is a pear tree, likely originated in Eastern Europe. Could have been, Lithuania, Poland, Ukraine, Slovakia, any number of the countries that people came here with.
All right, I want to taste one of these.
Go for it.
Oh, you're putting the short, fat guy to picking a pear. All right, I even wrap this. Are you going to dig into?
Sure.
Go right ahead.
Thank you.
I get a little pear, but relatively tasteless.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's pretty mild. I mean, it's truly organic.
Yeah.
Right? And really, the houses that are here in the village tell the story of the company. That tells the priorities that the corporation had.
Right.
Everything that's out here in the yards, that was the miner space. The corporation didn't care much about it, right? So all of these outbuildings that we see around us, the outhouses, the sheds, and these trees, that's the story of the people.
What else are you going to show us?
We're going to take a look at an apple tree next.
Let's go. So this is another just wild apple tree from Eastern Europe.
Exactly,
right?
Yep. Yeah, one of many that we have.
We're going to try it?
Yeah, let's do it.
I got to tell you, I love history, but I love history based on food. And we were talking, we were talking piggies in a blanket. We were talking pierogies, everything brought from Lithuania, Polish, Ukraine, anywhere there. Ready for an apple test?
Let's do it.
Ooh, I got that little thing.
A little bitter?
Oh, yeah. But lots of apple taste. I could see this being a cider or an apple pie.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
They knew what they were doing. They packed seeds, traveled thousands of miles across the sea, and it ends up in Eckley.
So one thing that having fruit trees like this gave mining families was some insulation against the company and against the ups and downs of the anthracite industry. So you imagine in a period of a strike when the mines are closed, you're not pulling an income, the company wants you to get desperate and come back to work. But if you're growing your own things in your own yard, you can wait them out, bring them to the negotiating table. So really, I mean, what you're looking at in these fruit trees and the gardens that they have here is a source of power for the families to take some of that energy and agency back.
And not to sound hokey, but hope.
Right.
Right? A little bit of hope. We did try a peach along our travels, and once again, small but very tasteful. Our last stop on the tour, grapes. So these have to be old.
I would think so. Yeah, I don't have an exact date, but I would think they date to the 19th century. And these grapevines are in the backyard of the doctor's office, which was established pretty shortly after the company's founding. And you have to think that Dr. Wentz was back here harvesting some grapes to make his own wine, even though Eckley was a dry town.
Right. Yeah. Well, not if you made it in your basement.
Exactly.
Right. So we got to try one of these. That's bitter. That's very bitter. But again, it hasn't been taken care of correctly like a vineyard. It's been here forever. Just look at the size of the roots and the basin here. I've got to tell you, I grew up in a mining family. We've been sharing stories. You have opened up my eyes to fruit that would have been brought over and that whole secondary concept. I mean, you're saving history in the buildings and in the museum, but you're sharing history in a taste that I may never get anywhere else.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Chris, for the tour. Thank you for the information, the history lesson, but more importantly, thanks for sharing your fruit with us. We really appreciate that. Now, for this episode and all the episodes of Go Wild with Discover NEPA, go to discovernepa.com or subscribe on YouTube.